This is day 4 of the 16th annual Sylacauga Magical Marble Festival in downtown Sylacauga at Central Park. Today we are joined by Warren Strickland, sculptor from Birmingham, Alabama. And Mr. Strickland, how did you get started sculpting? Was it carving? How did you get started in this form?
About 35 years ago I started carving in wood, little small animals, and it evolved from there. I went to bigger animals, human busts, went to stone, went to clay, stayed with clay a long time, and then recently I've come back to stone, and this is my 3rd year at Sylacauga.
So working with stone and being that Birmingham isn't far away, is there a lot of carving and sculpting in Birmingham with marble? Do you come back to Sylacauga because it's not far away for that? How does that work?
Well, no, there's not a lot of sculpting in Birmingham that I'm aware of anyway. I've been there about 5 years. I've done some work over in Columbiana a little bit, but I enjoy the festival down here. This is my 3rd year coming. I go to other places in the United States, Kansas, New York, and I take different workshops. This is actually a festival, not a workshop. Sculptors come here from all over the United States.
So this year you're working on a piece, and I saw at the bottom you had written Trojan Horse. So please elaborate on the piece you're working on this year. Is that the name of the piece and just the idea behind it?
Well, it is going to be a Trojan horse. I'm not sure what I'm going to name it just yet. The reference material for the piece is from the movie Troy with Brad Pitt. So the horse that you see in that movie is the one I'm going to be attempting to render in marble. I thought it'd be a nice play to have a wooden horse sculpted out of stone.
And right now I see that you're working on the in between the front and the rear legs, like kind of working on a hole. Like, talk about just trying to get that out to where you end up having the legs.
The negative space is what you're referring to that goes between the legs from the side and from the front and the back. It's one of the more difficult things to achieve. You gotta start with just a pilot hole, and then you open it up slowly. I started with a 1-inch diameter bit that I actually got stuck this morning, and it took me about an hour to get it out.
Man.
But it's slow going to get a negative space 8 inches thick out of a piece of stone. But you just got to stay after it.
And with carving and sculpting, is there a particular tool that you prefer, whether it be like grinding with an electric saw or like a pneumatic hammer? Any preference?
For me, I don't know if there's a preference as much as there is select the tool to do what it is that you're trying to accomplish in that particular step. It can be a side grinder, it can be a die grinder, it can be air hammers, which is what you saw me using a few moments ago. Files, rasps, burrs. There's lots of different tools, and they all have a particular job they can do. You want to try to select the one that's going to move the most material the fastest.
Well, thank you, Mr. Strickland, for joining us today here at the 4th day of the 16th annual Sylacauga Magical Marble Festival. Reporting from Central Park, Robert Pearson Jr. for WOIL and WOTM TV.